It's Coffee Break with Mr. Albert Soriano. Please don't forget to watch, like, comment, and hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell for updates.
Orientations na inilalaan po natin sa ating mga grade 7 freshman students who are qualified or been chosen by the institutions to be one of the ESC scholar or ESC grantee. Ang ESC po ay yung tinatawag po natin Education Service Contracting. Isa po sa financial aid na ibinibigay ng gobyerno under the Gaspe law, the government assistance to students and teachers private education. Yan po. Kaya po namin ipinatawag itong orientation ay upang malaman po ninyo officially na we are your student or your child is one of the chosen student to be one of the ESC grantee. Po, para at least guided po kayo ng mga rules and regulations or policy na education service contracting as required by the PAPE and the Department of Education. Sa bagamat tayo po ay online, we're doing this for around 4 years already. Ginagawa po natin ng ating orientation, syempre face-to-face, but we cannot do that sa pagkakataong ito dahil sa ating sitwasyon. But we have this technology para makapag-conduct po tayo ng orientations online para maialam po natin sa ating mga parents at sa ating mga estudyante yung polisiya and guidelines na meron po tayo pagdating po sa ASPE. Sige po, let's start, Sir AG. Lahat na lang ng papasok, please. Accept mo na lang. So ito po ang policies and guidelines on the implementations of the government assistance for our teachers and students under the private education law or the GASPE law. Next slide na tayo, Sir AG. So what is our legal basis or what do the Department of Education and the PAPE is legal basis in terms of this law? So number one, under the Article 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, it states that it strives to promote and make quality educations available to all Philippine citizens. Kaya kung mapapansin niyo, lahat po ng ating mga mag-aaral sa public institution ay libre. Because we have this law under the 1987 Constitution that we would like to promote and make quality educations available or accessible to everyone. And to realize that law, they have to extend the service to the private institutions. So they want to recognize complementary roles of the public and private schools in the education system. So since they cannot give free educations to all students under the private schools, so what the institution did is that through this law, mabigyan po nila ng subsidy or extension ng tulong po ang government sa mga private institutions by having this law, GASPE law, para makapag-provide po sila ng financial assistance sa ating mga estudyante nag-aaral sa mga private institution. Next po. So, and one legal basis is the RA 8545 or the expanded ASPE. That is what you call government assistance to students and teachers in private education. So, kaya po siya tinawag na ASPE. It stands for Government Assistance to Students and Teachers in Private Education. Okay? So, Ito po ay para sa, ang mga program po ng Gaspe is number 1, the Education Service Contracting. This is one I've been mentioning a while ago. At ito rin yung program na kung saan kayo ay inilayan po natin. So under kayo ng ESC program. We have also the Senior High School Voucher Program. Yan naman yung mga ESC scholars or yung mga galing ng public na nag-aaral ngayon ng private institution o yung graduate ng private na nag-apply ng online voucher application program, under sila ng Senior High School Voucher Program. Okay? And we have what we call the Joint Delivery Voucher Program, kung saan ang isang private institution nakikipag-tie up sa isang TESDA schools to deliver a grade 11 and grade 12 specializations of senior high school. Kaya siya tinawag na Joint Delivery Voucher Program for Senior High School in Technical Vocational Livelihood Specializations. Kung dati ang isang TESDA school ay nag-o-offer ng isang regular program niya, what they did is they combine it and they join it with the private institutions para combine sila ng pagde-deliver ng isang technical vocational program. For the teachers, we have what we call the Teacher Salary Subsidy Program. So, ibig sabihin, meron ding financial aid na ibinibigay ang government sa ating mga teachers na license na nagtuturo sa isang pribadong eskwela. At the same time, it is the Gaspe, through the Gaspe law, na ang PAYAC and the DepEd is providing in-service training program to all our teachers during summer. Okay? So every time na April at May, pinapatawag ang ating mga teachers from basic to junior to senior high school to attend the in-service training program or the INSET. This year, it is scheduled on this month, September, on the last week of September, to have their in-service training program. So, basically, ito yung mga programa na meron ang Gaspe Law in terms of the ESC, the Senior High School program, and the teachers itself. Next. So if you're going to look at the framework of the multi-stakeholder management from the State Assistance Council, or what we call the Republic Act number 8545 or the law, through the Department of Education, we were able to create a organizations or a committee na magmamanage po ng iba't ibang programa under the Gaspe Law, which is the Private Education Assistance Committee. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kaninang PAYAC. So, ang PAYAC at ang DepEd, basically ang dalawang direct na namamahala in making the realizations of the Gaspe Law. So the programs jointly managed by the DepEd and PAYAC are the ESC or the Education Service Contracting, the TES or the Teachers Subsidy. We have the Senior High School Voucher Program, the INSET Training, and the research that they're providing to teachers and students, yung RISE na yan. Next, Sir E.G. So we're going to focus our discussions on the ESC or the Education Service Contracting. Lahat ng estudyante ng grade 7, awa tulong po ng Diyos, ay mailalagay natin sa ESC. Why? Masaya po ang aming kalooban na i-announce natin na when we started the ESC, we just have 50 slots. It was 18, 16, if I'm not mistaken, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These are fourth year. So it's school year 2016-17, we just have around 56 slots. Now, when we apply for the certifications and it was granted to La Verdad, we just have around 50 slots, 6 slots for La Verdad. Eventually, the next year, we have granted another 50. 50 for grade 8 and then 50 for grade 7. And then on the third year, last year, we request for additional slots, and simply because of the number of students that we have for grade 7, we have around less than 300 grade 7, to have additional slots of 100 slots. That's why last year 200 slots na ang meron tayo. And awa tulong ng Diyos, mga mommies and daddies at mga estudyante po natin. This year, so last year we're early this year around February, we requested for another slots. Awa tulong po ng Diyos, when we check our portal, nabigyan po tayo ng additional 100 slots. So this year we have around 300 slots, kaya ma-accommodate natin lahat ng grade 7 students natin na maging ESC scholars, no, or ESC grantee. Aside from the fact na syempre ay kayo po ay scholars ng La Verdad Christian School sa pamamagitan po ng scholarship program na ibinibigay ng ating presidente, Dr. Daniel Razon, at ng ating founding chairman, Brother Eli Soriano. So kumbaga, scholarship program ng La Verdad na libre na ang inyong mga tuition fee na po bilang isang pagiging partial scholars, or ikaw ay isang full scholar, libre lahat. We have what we call this the Education Service Contracting Program ng gobyerno para additional subsidy po sa inyo. Yeah. So let's start. What is ESC General Principles? So basically, they want to democratize and improve access to secondary educations. Now, according to the survey, for around 100 students, no, ang gumagraduate ng elementary or started in grade 1 in elementary, hindi lahat gumagraduate. It's just 60% of the survey who graduated in elementary, and only 40% who can afford to enroll in secondary education. That's why they want to help students who cannot afford to continue their educations in the secondary level by providing this education service contracting. Magbibigay sila ng subsidiya sa mga estudyante para makapag-aral ng kanilang secondary educations, whether it is a private institutions or a public institutions. Okay? Second thing is that they want to demonstrate relationship. Okay, it's a bond, or it's a relationship between the public and private institutions looking for a common goal, which is to improve access and to make secondary educations accessible to everyone. In terms of the public sector, the basic objective of the ESC is to reduce classes in public high school. We have this big number of students in public high school that most of the time the public sector would like to have they find it difficulty to manage this number of students. Kaya with the ESC general principles, pwede nilang ma-reduce ang class sizes ng mga public institutions simply because lilipat sa isang private institutions through the financial aid. So with that, mababawasan ng estudyante sa public school, gaganda yung bilang ng estudyante, kada sections. At the same time, magagamit ng estudyante, ng eskwelahan, specifically the private sector, yung mga excess utilities nila in terms of classroom and teachers, dahil madadagdagan naman nila sila ng estudyante. So in terms of the private sector, they can utilize excess capacities of private secondary school like their classroom and teachers kasi madadagdagan sila ng estudyante. Second thing is that on the part of the public sector, they congest public secondary schools, especially those with shortage of classroom and teachers. That's what we are telling. And then we can improve viability of private secondary school. Yung ang kanilang stability, makapagpatuloy, no, their viability to continue their schools through the ESC general principles kasi hindi sila mababawasan ng estudyante. At the same time, madadagdagan ng estudyante ang mga secondary private institution. Next. So the government subsidy is given to deserving elementary graduates who opted to enroll in private school. So whether you came from a public, whether you came from a private institutions, and would like to continue your secondary educations, so you can be part of this education service contracting, whether in a formal school setting or an open high school program. So it covers 4 years of secondary educations. But for now, ito ang kagandahan po ng ating ESC ngayon. Ito ha, mga mommies and daddies and our students. Kaya dapat makinig ng mabuti. Imagine, before it's just cover 4 years. But now, it covers 6 years. So when you are an ESC, kapag napili ka ng eskwelahan, let's say La Verdad, na maging ESC grantee ka, grade 7 pa lang, it means you are ESC grantee until you reach grade 8, grade 9, grade 10. And good thing for now, according to DepEd and PEA, if you are an ESC graduate during grade 10 level, pagdating mo sa grade 11, ESC ka pa rin. And you don't have to apply for voucher application. Automatically, you will be an ESC scholar or voucher recipient under the ESC grantee event. So, yun ang kagandahan ngayon ng pagiging ESC grantee mo. Imagine from your grade 7 until you reach grade 12, you can be an ESC grantee. And you don't have to apply online. No, dun sa ating tinatawag na online voucher application program. Kaya maganda na mapanatili natin ang pagiging ESC grantee natin hanggang makagraduate tayo ng grade 12. No? Malaking tulong yan sa ating mga magulang dating sa ating mga pag-aaral. Okay? Another thing is, so it is given starting at attachment level. Grade 7, lagi tayo pumipili. Hanggang pataas ng pataas yan, hanggang ma-reach yung grade 12. So, subsidy, because students pay top-ups. It's just a subsidy ha, mga anak ko. Meaning to say, if you are an ESC grantee at mag-aaral ka sa isang private institution, meron kang subsidy yan na makukuha. Meaning to say, the DepEd and the PEA will not pay the entire tuition and miscellaneous fees that the private institution is offering. No? So, the parent would pay the top-ups. Meaning to say, kung mayroong 20,000 ang tuition miscellaneous ng isang private institution at naging ESC grantee ka, providing 9,000 pesos as a subsidy, you have to pay the remaining 11,000 pesos. Ang kagandahan sa La Verdad, ESC subsidy ka na, scholar ka pa ni Brad Eli sa ni Brad Daniel, no, ng ating mga nangunguna sa La Verdad, wala na halos top-up. Kung meron man, very, very minimal. No? So, yung mga ESC grantee na nag-enroll sa atin ngayon, no, kayo ang magpapatunay na wala man halos 2,000 ang binayaran nyo. No, dahil, yun ay good for 1 year already. Imagine kung ikaw ay isang ESC grantee at nag-aaral ka sa isang private institutions and you have to pay around 20,000, 11,000 pa yung babayaran mo. Okay? That is good for only miscellaneous entry. And that is only for 20,000. Eh ngayon, ang mga private institutions, nagre-range na ng 20 to 30,000 a year. Eh. Sometimes, iba pa ang aklat. No? Ang dami pa mga dapat mga bayaran. Pero dito, awa tulong ng Diyos sa La Verdad, sa pagiging ESC grantee nyo, napili kayo ng committee to be one of the ESC grantee. At the same time, no, pasalamat po tayo sa Diyos dahil tayo ay natanggap din sa La Verdad bilang mga scholars ni Brad Ely at ng ating Presidente, Dr. Daniel Rason, kung saan wala na halos tayong babayaran. Ano po, no? Basically, kung meron man yan, PTA na lang, MOA, at very, very minimal amount, yun na lang mag-e-exist sa kung magkano yung ina-allowed ng ESC grantee subsidy. So kung di ako nagkakamali, that's roughly less than 2,000 pesos for 1 year already. Kaya napaka-ganda po na ikaw ay scholar ng La Verdad through the scholarship program of Brother Ellis, Brother Ellis Soriano and Kuya Daniel Razon. At the same time, napili po kayo ng eskwelahan to be part of the ESC program and you become the ESC grantee. Kaya ang hiling natin, sana ingatan natin yung pagiging ESC scholar natin at magamit natin yan. Malaking tulong yan sa ating mga magulang hanggang makapag-grade 12 kayo. Lalo na pagdating sa grade 11 and grade 12, mas malaki ang tuition miscellaneous fee ng mga senior high school. And it will really help our parents na maituloy po ang inyong pag-aaral with spending a very, very minimal amount of money. Okay? Yan. Next. So, magkano pa yung ina-allowed? Just like what I'm saying a while ago, all regions except NCR and highly urbanized cities. So, dito, ang NCR, mas mataas sa kanila. It's simply because they're considered as in a highly urbanized cities. Dito sa Pampanga, kung di po ako nagkakamali, it is the Angeles City. It's included with the NCR. But for our situations that we are here in Apalit, Pampanga, kabilang tayo dun sa subsidy na merong ganitong amount. For grade 7, so meron tayong 9,000 subsidy. Kaya yung incoming freshmen na ang dapat bayaran ay 10,050, kung di ako nagkakamali, na miscellaneous fee, minus 9,000 pesos, 1,050 na lang po ang natitira sa inyo. Okay? Then we have the LBCC access fee, we have the MOA and the AP. Yun na lang po ang babayaran for 1 year. Wala man pong 2,000 yun. So, salamat po sa Diyos dahil nagkaroon po tayo ng ganitong pagkakataon. No? So, for grade 8, pag tungtong nyo ng grade 8 next year, yan pa rin. Pag tungtong nyo ng grade 9, pag tungtong nyo ng grade 10, 9,000 pa rin. Kasi inabutan nyo yung rank or yung ranges na 9,000 ang ibinibigay na subsidy sa inyo. Okay, so grade 8, 9, 10 hanggang makagraduate ka, yan yung subsidy na makukuha nyo. Pagdating ng senior high school, grade 11, mas malaki. Kung di ako nagkakamali, the PAYAC and the DepEd is providing around 14,000 pesos subsidy for your senior high school. Yun naman yung ima-minus sa pinaka-miscellaneous fee natin for a senior high school. Tapos yung remaining, yun yung babayaran. Okay? So, yan po yung, I just want to reiterate na sa atin, halos wala nang babayaran actually. Pero, sa mga, syempre sa ibang private institutions with a bigger miscellaneous and tuition fee, medyo mas malaki talaga. Guess what, Sir E.G.? Now, private school participation in ESC, who are qualified, number 1, must have a government recognition. And good thing, La Verdad is a government-recognized institution since 2017. We're about to receive our 2007, I should say, 2007. When we started La Verdad, it was 1999, first year of operations, and we received our government recognitions last 2007. And we have around 50 years granting recognition para makapag-operate po tayo as a government-recognized institution. So wala tayong po. We are able to pass the certifications of the PAYAC or the PAPE, last 2016. That's why it's been 4 years. We've been doing this, and we're giving ESC grantee to all deserving students. For number 3, it is our plan that school will be accredited under the Federations of Accrediting Agencies of the Philippines to have additional certifications. Nasa plano po. Those are part of our future plans to have accreditations from accrediting company. Next po. Number 4, actual participation of new schools depends on availability of slots. Okay, so with our slots, we started from 50, then we became 100, and then last year we have 200, and then this year we have 300 participants. Okay, so ganyan karami po yung ating slots po ngayon. At awa tulong po ng Diyos, with the number of applicants in La Verdad, kung di po ako nagkakamali, nasa around 800 applicants po tayo ng grade 7. Siyempre, may mga hindi po tayo natanggap. Sinasala po natin yung ating mga estudyanteng papasok sa La Verdad. And good thing, isa kayo sa mga napili sa La Verdad to be part of La Verdad at the same time to be part of the ESC program. Letter B, position based on queuing system. Okay, and depende po kung ano ang merong slots po ang La Verdad at sa ating mga available data. So usually, ang slots binibase po sa number of students, number of enrollees. And then priority based on seat shortage in the city or municipality. So, ano karami ang mga ESC schools within a pali? Gaano karami ang mga ESC students? Baka merong mga ibang slots hindi nagagamit ng school. Ang ginagawa ni PEAC ay dinidistribute sa ibang mga eskwelahan. And good thing that we were able to achieve and to receive 300 slots. Next. Sige po, lagpasan na natin yan. That is for online high school program. Okay. Next na tayo dyan. Now, ESC freshman slot allocation to participating schools. So, number 1, pick slots. Okay, equal to the actual number of first-year ESC grantee last year, provided school is in good standing. So, bakit ba tayo nabibigyan ng slots? Number 1, we pass the latest recertification or certifications. Awa tulong po ng Diyos, pumasa po ang La Verdad last February 2020 sa ating recertification basic. Yan, kaya itong taon na ito, wala tayong problema. Recertify po tayo ng PEAC, and then we will have another recertification next year. So, yun po yung paghahandaan naman po natin next year na sana loobin, maipasa po ulit natin ang ating recertifications so we could continue giving ESC slots or ESC grantee or program to our students. No adverse finding in the last monitoring. Meaning to say, dun sa huling finding natin ay karapat-dapat lang na makapagpatuloy ang eskwelahan. So, yun, awa tulong ng Diyos, we're able to have good recertification output. And capacity to utilize slots. Hindi kasi po bibigyan ng eskwelahan ng maraming slots kung wala namang capacity to utilize those slots. Imagine bigyan ka po ng 50 slots pero you cannot afford to use those 50 slots. The next year, hindi ka na po bibigyan ng ganyang karaming slots. No? So kung halimbawa, ang isang eskwelahan, 50 slots ang ibinigay sa kanya, 30 lang po yung nagamit niya. The next year, they cannot receive 50 slots. It will stick on 30 slots. Awa ng Diyos, taon-taon, kulang pa yung slots na ibinibigay sa atin. We started 50, we have students around 100 plus, then eventually, bigyan nila tayo ng 100, we have around 200 slot at 200 grade 7. So, sumusobra yung dami ng estudyante natin sa available slots natin. Kaya, walang nasasayang na slots sa atin. Okay? Now, new schools usually put these slots. Yan. That's what we are telling na when we started ESC program, we just have around 50 slots. And now, we have 300 slots already. Next. So, incentive slots. Ito yung level 2 above accreditations or certification rating of 3 and above. Inibigyan ng certification rating. Okay? Other slots given, Sir EG. So, number 1 is fixed slots. Ang fixed slots natin ay 100. The third one is the additional slots, if I'm not mistaken. Yan. Ito na yung sa atin. No? So, tayo may fixed slots. At the same time, we have additional slots allocation. So, DepEd determine the number of additional slots based on the budget. So, kung may budget ng DepEd, it will give additional slots. DepEd Office of Planning Services determines seat shortage in public high school in cities and municipalities. So, kung sa isang munisipyo, isang municipalities, maraming mag-aaral na grade 7. So, might as well, they will give no slots to private institutions within the municipality. And then the total number of additional slots distribute to cities and based on the shortage share. And the letter D, PAPE and DepEd distributed slots pro rata to ASC participating school after first applying the incentive slots distributed. Now, at least showing this one, okay na yan. So, we were able to have additional slots based on our present number of students and at the same time, yung need allocations within the municipality. Next. Total slots allocation is equal to the sum of the A, fixed allocations, letter B, incentive allocations, if any. Kung ikaw ay level 2 accredited, pwede po yung magkaroon ng incentives or naka-receive ka ng P as your grades for your recertifications. And then, an additional allocation, if any. In case where slots are limited in a city or municipality to support incentive allocations, the slots are distributed pro rata among ESC schools in the area that are in good standing in program. So, kung maganda naman ang standing ng might as well they may consider additional slots. Next. So, schools total, okay na yan. Number 6, schools unable to fill total slots available should lose the unfilled slots. No redistributions of adjusted slots to other school unless authorized by the DepEd Central Office. So, halimbawa, isang eskwelahan, they were not able to use it, they cannot share the slots to other institution. It is DepEd Central Office who would give authority and who would allocate those unused slots to other institutions. Next. So, grantee selections, ano po tayo namimili ng estudyanteng magiging ESC grantee? Okay? Number 1, schools campaign for applicants to fill up their slots allocations. So, what we're going to do is, since kulang tayo ng ESC slots sa dami ng estudyante natin sa grade 7, so we're able to request for additional slots and think that it was been granted. That's why we have more slots to offer for ESC grade 7 students. And then what we do is to have a campaign for all those applicants for grade 7s to apply because we have this what we call the ESC grantee allocations. Number 2, preference shall be given to public elementary graduates. So basically, kaya tinatawag na public-private partnership. It's simply because gusto nga nila na mabawasan, ma-decongest ang mga nasa public schools para mabawasan sila and they could have a good number of students per sections So, ibibigay naman sa private institutions yung slots saka yung mga estudyante. So, basically, ang preference ng PEAC is those students who came from public institutions, okay, or public schools. But the schools may also accept students to become an ESC scholar, those students who graduated in a private institutions, lalo na kung may slots pa. Okay? Yan. Tayo, awa tulong po ng Diyos, lahat ng grade 7 natin, graduate ng grade 6 sa La Verdad, automatic yon yung scholars natin. We have around 100 something graduates of grade 6 La Verdarian. Yan. At syempre, dahil La Verdarian na kayo, hindi naman kami papayag na hindi kayo makakuha ng ESC slots. Kaya lahat ng grade 7 natin ngayon na graduate ng La Verdad ay ginawa nating ESC scholar. At the same time, dahil we have 300 slots, yung mga galing naman ng public ay na-accommodate din natin. Kaya lahat kayo ngayon, grade 7 students are ESC grantee. Okay? Next. We have what we call the school committee, chaired by the principal, Dr. Lisbon Minda Cruz, with a representative of the PTA and Faculty Association as a member, screens and prepare each applicant's profile as a basis for selection. So tayo, since marami tayong slots, so we're able to screen and we're able to pass all our grade 7 students to be part of the ESC program. So keep applicant's profile for inspection by DepEd. So meron po tayong ibibigay na mga, gagawin lang po namin in a soft copy file, yung ating pong what we call it, pinaka-template na katibayan na kayo ay ESC scholar. Okay po, gagawin lang po namin siyang pinaka-soft copy file para kapag sinend po namin sa inyo through your advisor, ipipill up na lang yung form. Ready to fill up yung form. Tapos, isi-send it back ninyo sa inyong mga advisor. Yun po yung ESC contract na tinatawag natin. Okay? So, kailangan po kasi, every time na may pupuntang taga-PEAC or DepEd, visiting our institutions, may maipapakita tayo na meron tayong mga pinil-upan na mga kontrata as a basis for the ESC program po na ipinatutupad natin sa level. Hintayin nyo na lang po yun, ibibigay po namin through your advisors. Next is that the school committee assess and select applicants to fill up slots based on need and capability to sustain and finish secondary education in this school. Basically, ang binibigyan ng ESC school program or ESC slots ay yung mga estudyanteng alam natin based on our screening process na matatapos niya ang kanyang secondary from grade 7 to grade 10. Kasi kung ibibigay po natin sa isang grade 7 and then grade 8 nag-stop din, sayang. Kasi pwedeng mawala ang ESC. Muli siya, the next year, without a valid reason, hindi niya na pwedeng magamit ang pagiging ESC scholar niya or ESC grant niya. Okay? Next. Okay na yan, Sir E.G. For the number 5, principal conducts orientations for grantees and parents. Okay, so the school. Oh, wait. So what are we doing right now is this one, the orientations for our ESC grantee. What we would like to emphasize is that this program is a government program under the Gaspe law. Okay. So aside sa ating scholarship program na pinoprovide ni Brad Eli, saka po ng ating presidente, Kuya Daniel Razon, this ESC program is a government program under the Gaspe law. And we would like also to reiterate the objectives of the ESC, how grantees were selected, and out of how many applicants, the requirements for grantees to maintain their subsidies, and how much subsidy per students and differential to be paid in. Kasi ito ay subsidiya, hindi po ito full scholarship. Pero sa La Verdad, syempre, sa ating scholarship program, full scholarship program po yung ating. Next. So The school must keep the attendance sheet as a proof of the conduct of the orientations. That's why we were able to give you the Google form para makapag-fill up po sa ating attendance. Ang wala pong pinil-upan na Google form ay hindi po magiging official ESC scholar. Kaya napaka-importante po na ang lahat po ng estudyante ay mag-fill up ng Google form. Yan po kasi ang basis natin na kayo po ay naka-attend ng orientations at naintindihan nyo po lahat ng polisiya at guidelines ng ESC, ha? So, i-check po natin ang attendance mamaya. Kasi pag wala pong attendance, hindi pa siya considered officially ESC grantee. Ano? Kailangan po kasi nakaka-attend po ng orientation. So, make sure, mommies, daddies, dalawa po kasi yun eh. Dalawa po ang mag-fill up nun. I mean, sa isang file, pag pinilapan nyo, dalawa po ang hinihingi namin data. File po ng estudyante, saka file ng guardian. Okay? Yung umattend ng orientation. It's one attending one, it's the student attending two. It's either the guardian or the parent. No? The school must encode names and information of selected grantee in the ESC IMS. Right now, hinihintay lang po natin matapos ang orientation so we could have the attendance para ma-encode na po natin ang inyong mga pangalan sa ating portal at ma-send na natin sa PEA and you will become officially ESC grantee. Pag na-send na po natin yan, then pa-process na po natin ang billing o yung amount na dapat ibigay ng gobyerno sa eskwelahan. At once na ma-receive po natin yan, siyempre, especially yung mga estudyante, parent na nag-enroll po na mayroong binayaran, no? Halimbawa, for example, nag-enroll kayo, hindi nyo pa alam na ESC kayo dahil hindi pa rin naman po namin alam na na-approve yung additional 100 slots. Kasi ang alam lang po namin, 200 lang. Nadagdagan to tayo ng 100. No, kung nag-enroll po kayo as partial scholar na may binayaran kayo ng higit, no, sa dapat lang bayaran dahil ESC scholar kayo, yun po ay magagamit po natin on the following year sa mga susunod na taon na mga babayaran po natin. So let's say for example, kung meron tayong sobrang 2,000 pesos na naibayad, yun ay gagamitin nyo na the following year para hindi na po tayo naglabas po ng pera. No, since ESC scholar ka naman, you will stay around grade 7, 8, 9, and 10, magagamit po natin yung mga amount po na yun. Kaya lang, syempre, hintayin po muna natin na ma-release yung budget. Kasi hanggat hindi po natin na-receive yung budget, ay wala naman po tayong magagamit na amount para po magamit natin sa mga susunod na taon. May mga nababasa po akong questions, no? Sir E.G., kung kaya mo namang sagutin, no, para ikaw na mismo yung mag-address ng question nila in terms of the link, pwedeng ma-send mo na rin dito sa chat box natin yung link para dun sa Google form. Next tayo. 3G, next. So school must indicate an student ID, the icon provided in PAPI website to signify student is an ESC grantee. So for now, hindi po tayo makapagbigay ng pinaka-printed ID. No? Pero mapapansin nyo po lahat ng ating mga grade 8, 9, and 10 na ID nila last year, merong logo po ng ESC. Kasi pag po nagkaroon ng inspection, and they would like to see whether this student is ESC grantee or not, titingnan po nila ang ID. Once na may logo na ganyan, meaning it guarantees that they are an ESC grantee in institutions. Okay? So for now, siguro po dun sa pinaka-virtual ID po natin, bahala na po silang mag-Keisha po doon on how they can include the logo para meron tayong pagkakakilanlan sa ating virtual ID that we are an ESC scholars. Next. Sir E.G., next na tayo. For regular formal schooling, the government financial assistance to grantees, or e.g., government financial assistance to grantees, no maintaining grade is required. Okay? But in La Verdad, hindi po pwede po yan. Okay? Tayo po sa La Verdad, meron tayong maintaining grades. Why? Because you are not just an ESC grantee. You are La Verdad scholar. And as a La Verdad scholar, hindi tayo papayag na ang isang estudyante ay petik sa kanyang grades. No? Na pumasa o hindi, pumasok o hindi, gumawa ng project assignment o hindi. Or mag-review during the examination or hindi. So we cannot apply this one. Kahit na ang palisiya is no grade requirements, sa atin, hindi po no grades requirement because we have a grade requirements for a Leverdarian. Okay? Now, for an ESC scholar, as we discussed during the orientations, that all ESC students or ESC grantee should maintain grades not lower than 83 in all subjects. Mas mababa. Okay? Mas mababa ng konti. Kasi sa isang presidential... Now, kung ikaw naman ay presidential scholar, kasi hindi naman lahat ng ESC scholar ay partial, merong mga ESC scholar, presidential scholar. Kasi presidential scholar ka na, ESC scholar ka pa, talagang totally wala kang babayaran. No? Libre ka sa lahat. Ibig sabihin ay mas mataas ang grade na i-maintain mo, which is 85 in all subjects. And if you are an academic scholar, meaning to say you are graduated first or second among the graduates from your former institution, 86 lahat ang grades na dapat meron ka sa lahat ng subjects. Okay? Itin ko, if you are an academic ESC grantee, you have to maintain no grades lower than 86. If you are a presidential ESC scholar, no grades lower than 85. If you are a partial scholar, partial ESC scholar, no grades lower than 83. And if you are a non-academic ESC scholar, no grades lower than 80. 80 po. Para siyang, if you are a sports scholar, sports ESC, no grades lower than 80. Yan po ang ating mga dapat na i-maintain na grades. Now, promotion to next year level assures grantee to continue support. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi kayo papasa as grade 7 at next year, grade 7 ulit kayo, you cannot afford to continue being an ESC grantee. Okay, mawawala po ang pagiging ESC scholar once you become, once you are not able to promote the next grade level. Okay, next. Number 3, the subsidy is terminated for any one of the following reasons. Number 1, if grantee drops out for non-health reasons in the middle of the school year. Nag-drop po ang bata sa kalagitnaan ng school year, ang rason, non-health reason. Hindi po siya pwedeng considered valid. Therefore, mata-terminate ang pagiging ESC scholar ng bata. Second, if grantee does not apply for official leave and does not re-enroll the following year. Halimbawa, ang reason po ng bata ay health reason, the students or the parents should apply for leave, official leave of absence. Para the next year, dapat mag-enroll the following year. Pero kung nag-apply, hindi na nag-apply ng official leave at hindi naman nag-re-enroll the following year, hindi po mako-considered for ESC program. Okay, next. If a grantee is retained in the same year level or not promoted, this is the one that we've been telling a while ago, hindi na promote, natili sa grade level, let's say grade 7, hindi ka magiging ESC the following year. Letter D, pag grantee is suspended for more than 2 weeks or it is dismissed or expelled by the school for disciplinary violations. Okay? Sa atin, kung magkakaroon ka ng offenses under the one strike policy, mawawala ka talaga sa eskwelahan. Or pwedeng mawala mismo ang ESC scholar sa iyo at the same time mawala ka sa institution. So ang requirement natin sa orientation, dalawa lang lagi, di ba? Number one is grades and the number one is behavior. Dapat we have this kind of behavior na may takot sa Diyos, definitely, mapagmahal sa and ESC scholars at the same time, Laverdarian. Okay, next, ipag-grantee transfer to non-ESC participating school. Halimbawa lang po, no, as in case you don't have any options but to transfer, say, transfer of residence. Halimbawa, next year, or some other year na, syempre, pero ang gusto po natin, manatili kayo sa Lover. Dito kayo nag-start, no? At kayo ang pinili namin na maging ESC scholar dahil naniniwala kami na gusto nyo mag-aral sa La Verdad at manatili at makagraduate ang inyong mga estudyante sa La Verdad. So we're not expecting someone who would like to transfer to other institutions someday. So ang thinking namin, that's why you choose to become a Laverdarian is simply because you want to pursue your education or gusto nyo dito makagraduate ang inyong mga anak sa Laverdad. So we're not thinking anyone who will transfer someday. But let's say, for example, let's face the reality. Sometimes we cannot do anything about it, but we do that. Kahit ayaw natin. Kung dumating man yung pagkakataon po na ganyan at transfer ka sa ibang institutions, kung ang nilipatan po ninyo ay hindi ESC participating school, you cannot continue to be an ESC grantee. Dapat kung lilipat or no choice dahil kailangan lumipat, ESC scholar ka, dapat ang piliin mo ay eskwelahang ESC participating school din. Okay? Para magamit mo pa rin yung pagiging ESC grantee mo. Okay? Next. Alright. So, number 4, guidelines on grantee transfer. So, let's say, for example, from La Verdad, your transfer in Manila, outside the NCR, into the NCR is not allowed. Okay, so, Apalit to Manila, that's not allowed. Outside NCR to another school outside NCR is permitted. So, let's say, for example, from a province of Pampanga to another province, okay, both outside NCR, that is permitted. The NCR to outside NCR is permitted but subsidy is reduced. So pwede naman na ang isang estudyante from NCR at lilipat sa isang outside NCR, permitted yon. Pero bababa ang subsidy. Dahil sabi nga natin kanina, mas mataas ang subsidy ng nasa Metro Manila kesa sa mga nasa probinsya. Okay? So mas mahal kasi po, one thing is the cost of living allowance. Mas mahal ang COLA, the cost of living allowance ng nasa NCR kaysa sa nasa probinsya. Okay? So, allowed yung from NCR to other provinces. Pero yung from province going to NCR, that's not allowed. Letter D, if transfer is before July 15 subsidy, so this one is applicable to a regular schooling, but we cannot do this one right now because July 15 is already done. Pero ang polisiya po ng ESC is that within 60 days at hindi ka nag-transfer, hindi mo na magagamit ang iyong as being a ESC grantee. Okay? Transfer is after July 15, yun nga yun. Magbabalik ka na dun sa talagang kailangan mong bayaran sa isang eskwela. Next. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, pinili po natin ang bawat isa sa inyo simply because alam natin ang estudyanteng ito gusto sa La Verdad. The very basic is that you apply for the scholarship program of La Verdad. Hindi naman po kayo mag-apply sa La Verdad kung ayaw nyo dito ang inyong anak na mag-aral sa La Verdad. So, we are thinking that everyone would like to start and finish their schooling in La Verdad. and being a La Verdad. Yeah. Next. Transfer are valid when grantee obtains from school of origin certifications. Okay? So lahat ng mga lumilipat, let's say from other institution, private institution, lilipat sa La Verdad, it will become valid unless they presented us a certification that they are ESC grantee. Okay? Including their ESC student ID number. Kukuha po yun. Letter B, School of Origin indicates on its online account that the student is transferred out. So through the LIS or the Learning Information System of DepEd, dapat makita na transfer out ang bata. Next, bago i-transfer in ng isang eskwelahan. Receiving school indicates the students in its EFC IMS online account that the student is transferred in grantee. Okay, so halimbawa, meron tayo ngayon po kasi mga grade 8, 9, and 10, ESC sila sa kanilang mga dating private institution, eskwelahan, lumipat sa atin. So, dapat i-transfer out sila ng school at ma-transfer in natin sa La Verdad. And we should present it as an original certifications that they are an ESC grantee. And then lastly, school includes transfer in grantee in its billing statement. Makakasama na po sila. Next. Okay na yan, Sir EG. It's for online. Grounds for penalty, suspension, and termination of school participation. Ano tayo pwedeng masuspend, mabigyan ng penalty for, ma-terminate ang ating eskwelahan? Number 1, kaya dapat, ito po talagang iniingatan natin. Number 1, a minimum suspension of 1 year whereby the school shall not be allowed to recruit freshmen grantee. Kung nagkaroon ng falsification of data or information in any of the program forms and related attachment. Okay, so let's say for example, falsify ng documents ang eskwelahan, they will be penalized by a minimum suspension of 1 year. Next. Adding or inclusions of ghost students in the list of grantees. This refers to the following. Number 1, listed grantees absent during a joint PAPE and DepEd field audit of the school whose existence and whereabouts cannot be sufficiently explained and supported by the school authorities. Ang ginagawa po kasi ni PAPE sa ni DepEd, they have this what we call surprise visit. Okay, they go to school, on a surprise visit, and they will ask all the ESC grantee to form line. And then they will check one by one the IDs and those lists that was been sent or submitted to them. Tayo po kasi nagsasubmit ng mga listahan. Diba nga, inire-record po natin sa IMS natin yung mga pangalan. Kaya nga sabi ko po sa inyo kanina, mag-attendance tayo ngayon. So, pag naka-receive nila yung pinaka-list and they started conduct surprise visit, at pag napatunayan, let's say for example, kung nandun ang bata, automatic, that's clear. Kasi, ESC scholar sa list, at the same time, nakita talaga nila yung bata. So, that is a proof na talagang existing yung bata. But if the students is absent during the surprise visit, and the PAPE and the DepEd and the school cannot give sufficient proof of the whereabouts and the existence of the students, medyo those can be considered as a ghost students. Meron po kasi mga ganyan. Mga nasa listahan, no? Wala naman talaga. Hindi talaga nag-i-exist. Bakit? Siyempre, gusto nila, some schools would like to utilize the slots. Halimbawa, 80 slots nila, si 50 lang ang estudyante nila. So, might as well, para hindi mawala yung slots, yung iba, in and quote, nagkakaroon po ng ghost students. Okay, so, tayo wala naman po ganyan. Kung ano ang slots, ibigay sa estudyante, and if they want to look for the students anytime, whatever surprise date visit yan, ay never nilang mahahanapan ng ghost students po ang level. Because we are strictly following the rules and regulations given by the PAP and the PEA. Grantees listed as enrolled in a specific school campus or unit are actually attending classes in a different school campus or unit. Hindi rin po allowed yun. Let's say, for example, just in case, halimbawa lang, ang La Verdad ay mayroong basic education sa Caloocan, nag-aaral pero nakalista dito sa Apalit dahil let's say, for example, si Caloocan ay wala namang ESC, hindi naman sila ESC Certified Participating School, dahil may additional slot si Apalit, yung mga estudyante doon, ipinasok din niya dito habang doon nag-aaral. That's not allowed. Also considered as a ghost student. Okay? Yun. Pwede po yun. Pwede maging ng sanctions yun. Now, grantees listed as enrolled but who have not been attending classes since the opening of classes. Nag-enroll, hindi naman nagtuloy, pero itinuloy mo pa rin i-bill, ipinasok mo pa rin sa ESC, and that will be considered as a ghost student as well. Okay? Hindi po pwede na nag-enroll lang, hindi naman nagtuloy, i-charge mo na at i-bill mo na para makakuha ka ng subsidy sa gobyerno. Number 4. Ito na rin po ba ang form para sa students? Yes. Iyan po yung attendance, Ma'am Daisy. I don't know kung meron ng form na ibinigay si Sir E.G. Pero yung pinaka-form na sinasabi ko kanina, yun po yung pinaka-contract na from a printed copy na meron po kami ay gagawin po nilang soft copy. Mag-ano ka na lang sa akin, Sir E.G. Magbigay ka na lang ng info. Next, grantees double listed. Meron pong ganyan. Minsan ay double listed po yan. Nangyari po sa atin yan dati na meron tayong ESC grantee na binigyan tapos nag-transfer bigla, hindi po sinabi sa atin, nag-transfer bigla sa ibang institution na hindi tayo ini-inform. Na-bill sila, na-bill din natin kasi we don't know, nandun po pala yung bata, nandito pa, hindi naman siya dumaan sa tamang proseso ng dropping. Double bill ang tawag po doon. So, only thing to do is to have a written explanations of what happened. Okay. So, madali naman pong paliwanagan po yan. Next. Malapit na po ito. It's already 9 o'clock. Ilang slides na lang po ito. So, ang mangyayari po natin, pagkayari po ng ating presentations, we will give ample time for the students to have a break. And then, babalik po tayo sa regular schooling po nila, online school class po nila. A penalty, termination from the program whereby the school shall no longer be allowed to recruit freshmen, grantees, and accept transferees from other ESC school. The school shall be allowed to graduate its grantees at the higher year levels and will be under close monitoring. Kung ganun po ang nangyari, i-terminate po yung program na merong applicable ang eskwelahan, hindi na rin po sila papayagang mag-recruit ng mga freshman students at yung mga present na ESC nila papag-graduate na lang. So, mahirap po na ganun ang mangyari. Kaya tayo, syempre, awat tulong po ng Diyos kung ano ang itinuro po sa atin ng ating mga nangunguna sa atin, Kuya Daniel Rason at Brother Eddie Soriano. We just have to be transparent. We just have to be trustworthy. Kung ano po ang nararapat na dapat gawin, kung ano ang legal, yun dapat ipatupad po natin. Next po. Letter C, charging grantees in excess of the school's tuition and other standard and non-standard fees. Okay? Dahil nalaman mo na ESC grantee, ay dinagdagan mo na ang mga dapat babayaran. Hindi naman dapat ganoon. So, mali po yan. That might as well considered. So, tayo po, napaka-konti nga lang po ng babayaran. Halos wala na nga po. Yung mga presidential nga po, wala na rin babayaran. So, kumbaga wala po tayong problema tayo dyan. Letter D, non-reimbursement or undue delay in the reimbursements of tuition and other fees advanced by grantees. So tayo, actually, ang ginagawa po natin, nung nag-enroll po yung mga partial na hindi pa rin po namin alam na magiging ESC sila dahil we don't have the idea na mag-grant po yung additional slots na in-apply po natin. So, nag-enroll po sila as partial without knowing na ESC grantee sila. So, kami rin po, hindi namin alam. So, yung mga excess po doon, no, ay gagamitin po yan. Tulad po nung nasabi ko kanina, hindi po tayo nagkakaroon ng reimbursement like what we are doing sa mga ilang taon na ginagawa na po natin. Hindi po tayo nagkakaroon ng reimbursement. What we are doing is that kung ano man po yung excess na ibinayad natin, yun po ay magagamit natin the following year, until the following year, until the following year. Kung meron pong magagamit at magagamit pa. So, let's say, this year, ang nabayaran mo ay 3,000, eh dapat pala ang babayaran lang is 1,050 plus 1,050, 2,500, kamo na. 3,000 po yung ibinigay nyo. So, may 500 kayong excess. Yun, yung 500, pwede pong magamit the following year. Kung 3,000 po the following year, so you just have to pay 2,500. Kasi may 500 ng excess last year. Ganun po ang ginagawa po natin. So, nire-reallocate po natin sa ibang bayarin. A document return at the excess funds charged by the school and 50% discount of any top-up differential to grant has to pay the school to the institutions. Okay? Next. Retention rate of the total number of ESC grant is below 90% except for reasons due to force majeure like calamities and armed conflict. Wala naman po tayong, ang ibig lang sabihin po nito, out of your ESC granting, 90% lang ang nagkaroon ng retention, 90% ng retention rate below 90%. So medyo, ibig sabihin, dapat lahat ng ESC granting natin as much as possible ay ma-promote. Ibig sabihin, may mga ESC granting na hindi nag-aaral, nang walang tiyagang pag-aaral, pero ESC grantee sila. So, the PAYAC would like to assure na yung ESC grantee or ESC slots ay ibinigay sa isang estudyante mag-aaral po talaga. Desidido, at may pangarap sa buhay na tapusin ang kanyang pag-aaral. Kasi sayang nga naman, kung ang isang ESC slot ay ibibigay sa isang estudyante, eventually madadrop lang din dahil sa grades or babasak lang din or mariretain lang din. So ayaw naman po nilang mangyari na ang isang slots ay maibigay sa ganong klase ng estudyante. They would like to give slots to students who are very much deserving. Those students who really have potentials and those students who have their aspirations to finish their schooling and eventually can have their parents, no? Yun po. Kapag may nangyari pong ganyan, bawasan po ng fixed allocation ng eskwelahan. Tayo po wala namang problema. At hindi po natin po problemahin yan. Bakit? Eh kasi pag ikaw talagang hindi ka nag-aral sa laberdad, hindi lang ESC ang mawawala sa iyo, talagang tatanggalin ka rin sa eskwelahan. Lalo na kung ang isang ESC students ay nagkaroon ng 75 below 75 grades. Let's say 74, 73, even 1 grade. In any of the subject, kahit isa lang po yan, automatic next year, hindi po kayo makakapag-enroll sa La Verdad. Kaya hindi po natin problema ito kasi pili natin ang mga estudyante and alam natin na mag-aaral sila. Given the fact na nandito sila sa La Verdad at mayroong may mga grades na minimited. Kaya yung kanina po na no maintaining grades, hindi po natin ina-apply yan. Kasi syempre, we'd like everyone to promoted. At the same time, hindi lang basta promote. Yung maayos po na estudyante, yung may magandang grades. Next po, sorry. So, refusal to release transfer credentials to grantees that opt to transfer to other school. Okay? So, halimbawa, ma-report ka, dahil lang gusto lumipat ng estudyante, ESC grantee, lilipat sa ibang school, ay pinipigilan mo and you would like to hold the documents, dahil syempre, mababawas sa iyo yan, mababawas sa billing ng school, inuhold mo ang dokumento, bawal po yun. Refusal to release transfer credentials to grantees. Sa atin, wala namang problema po yan. Pag lilipat, even valid reasons or whatsoever reason, kung ano man po ang reason nyo kung bakit lilipat, wala po tayong ano dyan. Hindi po natin kahit kailanman hinuhold ang mga dokumento. No? Pag-a-applyin lang po natin ng scholarship waiver bakit lilipat? Para at least alam po natin ang dahilan. But for whatever reason it is, never po tayo na nag-hold po ng estudyante. And syempre tayo, niniwala po ako basically na kayo po ay nag-apply sa La Verdad. You go with the process of applying. Imagine, nagtyaga ka mag-apply, nagtyaga ka mag-exam, nagtyagang mag-interview, attend orientations, those long process of applying just to be in La Verdad and be a La Verdarian. I guess that is a sign na gusto mo talagang maging estudyante ng La Verdad and you would like to finish your schooling in our institutions. Kaya, ano naman po ako doon, yung aking pag-asa na wala pong basta-basta lilipat sa mga ESC students po natin. Next po. Requiring transfer grantees to pay for unattended school years. Ayan, bawal po yan. Pero meron pong ganyan. Halimbawa, ESC, scholar siya, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, lilipat. Ang ibang eskwelahan po, gusto pabayaran yung grade 7 at grade 8 niya hanggang grade 9. Bago payagan nilang mag-grade 10. Bawal po yun. Okay? Yung pong binayaran ng gobyerno for as ESC program or ESC slots ay hindi pwedeng singilin ng eskwelahan just simply because students would like to transfer from one institution to other school. Hindi po pwede po yan. Okay? So kung ang bata lilipat, so be it, payagan. Kung nakabayad siya dun sa remaining balance niya, wala na po siyang dapat settle po na amount. Ang kangilang pong dapat i-settle na amount is once meron pong fix na babayaran ng parent, tapos binawas mo yung amount na dapat ibigay po as being an ESC grantee, yun lang pong talagang remaining, yun lang po ang dapat bayaran. Next po. Opo, wala pong problema yan. Basta na-maintain ng grades and the behavior, ha? Siyempre, discipline po ang pinapatupad natin sa mga estudyante. Hanggang mag-grade 12 po ang inyong anak, hindi lang next year. Basta laging na po promote at isang mabuting estudyante ng La Verdad, we live as a true value or true meaning of being a La Verdarian. Hanggang mag-grade 12 po ang bata. They will considered as an ESC. Kaya nga sabi ko, napakaganda po nung maging ESC student ka, grade 7 pa lang. Imagine you have this scholarship program hanggang makagraduate ka ng grade 12. Kung iba nag-a-apply pa ng online voucher bago makapasok ng grade voucher recipient sa grade 11, kayo wala nang hirap. Automatic na po kayo nun. Kaya mag-aral lang po ng mabuti at maging isang mabuting estudyante ng La Verdad. Next, schools unduly withholding TSS payments, wala po tayong problema dyan. Ito po ay para sa mga teachers. At 1,000% guarantee na ang TSS subsidy po ng mga teachers po natin ay malaya at masagana po nilang nare-receive kada taon. Ito pong nakaraang taon, it was been given last August kung di po ako nagkakamali. And they were able to use the amounts. No, karamihan po ng teachers natin na na-receive po nila, ginamit po nila yan para makapag-provide po sila ng mga materials na gagamitin po nila for online schooling. Siyempre, gusto po nilang makapag-provide ng isang maayos na online classes sa ating pong mga estudyante. They would some other teachers po bumili pa po ng mga hindi pala some. Most of our teachers, or almost all of our teachers, ay bumili pa po ng mga ano yung tawag dito? Power bank, yung pong mga, hindi lang po basta power bank, parang backup power. Para mawalan man ng kuryente, tuloy ang online classes. Mga mommies and daddies, imagine. Ito na lang po nila ginamit yung na-receive po nilang TSS para sa mga online classes po ng ating mga anak. And Ma'am Daisy is telling us that she can attest a living proof for that. Next po. So, school with unresolved ownership disputes filed in court, okay na yan. wala naman tayong problema dyan po. Ang mahalaga ay alam nila kung bakit na nagkakaroon ng problema ang eskwelahan. Participating schools whose government recognition have classes, wala pa po tayong problema dyan. 2007 po ay 50 years po ang ibinigay po sa atin. So maglalaso ang ating government recognition 2057. Ganyan katagal ang ating government recognition. So awa tulong po ng Diyos, patuloy pong magbibigay ng serbisyo ang La Verdad Christian School and College sa ating mga estudyante. Next po, for about 50 years. Schools with serious violations, wala, okay na po yan. Okay na yan. Sige po, Sir E.G. Proseso lang po yan kung paano po ang magiging process ng mga sanctions, penalties ng isang eskwelahan sa DepEd at sa PEA. Okay? So with that, yan po ang ating mga contact numbers. Unang-una po, nagpapasalamat po tayo sa Diyos sa isang mabuting pagkakataon na ibinigay po sa atin para maisakot-paran po natin ulit minsan pa ang klaseng ganitong. Pero E.G., balik mo na dun sa ano. Okay na yan. Ano ba yung next slide niyan? Okay po, sige. Balik mo na dun sa pinaka-ano. Wala na, mabilis lang naman po ang ating orientations. Gaya po na sinasabi ko, nagpapasalamat po tayo sa Diyos sa isang pagkakataon na ipinagkaloob po sa atin. Nagpapasalamat po tayo sa Diyos dahil binigyan po tayo ng pagkakataon na mapasama po sa ganitong klase ng programa ng gobyerno. Siyempre, yan ay additional lang po. No? I would like to reiterate. Now, merong pong Gaspe or ESC program o wala, nananatili po ang La Verdad na pre-institution. Sa pamamagitan po ng scholarship program ni Brother Eli Soriano at ng ating Presidente, Dr. Daniel Rason. Merong ESC o walang ESC, no? Dati nang wala naman pong ESC po ang La Verdad, pero sa pamamagitan po ng scholarship program na ino-offer po nila Brad Eli sa ni Kuya Daniel Rason, awa tulong po ng Diyos, ay nakakapag-provide po tayo ng scholarship program. Higit pa sa ESC na ipino-provide po ng gobyerno. Sa kanila po, subsidy. Sa scholarship program po na ibinibigay ni Brad Eli sa Kuya Daniel Rason, full scholarship program. From the tuition fee, to miscellaneous, to uniform, to lunch, books and manuals, lahat po yun libre. Wala pong pinagbabayad po doon, no? Bago pa ang itong scholarship program po ng gobyerno. Yun po ay gusto kong reiterate, mga mommies and daddies, na ito po ay additional subsidy lang. Additional subsidy lang po yan. Meron yan o wala, magpapatuloy po ang scholarship program po ni Brad Eli sa ni Kuya Daniel Rason dahil yun po ang kanilang advokasya, yun po ang kanilang public service na inilalaan po sa ating mga estudyante, sa ating mga magulang na gustong makapagpaaral ng kanilang mga anak sa kabila ng kahirapan or sa kabila ng bagay na may pagkukulang po ang, walang kapasidad ang magulang. Po, ay kaya nakakapag-provide po sila ng isang scholarship program na higit sa iba't ibang scholarship program na ino-offer ng gobyerno. Pero syempre, ito po ay subsidiya ng gobyerno na magandang makuha rin natin at maidagdag na tulong sa ating mga estudyante. Ano po? Kaya, ginarap po natin yung opportunity na magkaroon din po tayo, pumasa po ang ating eskwelahan sa ESC certification at makapag-provide po tayo ng additional slots sa ating mga estudyante. Okay po. Yan po ay yun po ang isang bagay na gusto po nating ipagpasalamat dahil nabigyan po tayo ng pagkakataon na maibigay po yung ganitong klase ng scholarship program. Maidagdag na subsidiya bukod sa scholarship program na ibinibigay sa atin ni Brad Eli sa ni Kuya Daniel Rason. Nagpapasalamat po ako sa Diyos, sa mga parent, sa mga estudyante na umattend po sa pagkakataon po na ito. Nakita po namin ang inyong suporta Alam ko pong mga busy rin po tayo sa ating mga trabaho, whether it is work from home or talagang pumapasok po sa opisina, pero you were able to give time to attend this kind of orientations para sa ating mga anak. Salamat po sa Diyos sa inyo pong suporta at inaasahan po namin sa mga susunod na pagkakataon, kung nagpatawag po tayo ng ganitong klase ng titipon, ay makikita pa rin po namin at maaasahan pa rin po namin kayo. Salamat po sa Diyos sa lahat po ng mga advisors na katulong po namin sa ganitong klase ng orientations. Wag po kayo magsasawang tumulong. Sa ating po mga PTA officers, homeroom PTA officers, general PTA officers, kasama po natin sa pagkakataong ito. Salamat po sa Diyos. At ingatan nawa po ang bawat isa sa atin. Hanggang dito po ang ating pong orientations. Ipinagbibilin ko po at pinapaalala na wag po kayong hindi po magpipila up ng attendance. Ang inyong pong attendance ang magsisilbing pinaka-opisyal na proof na ang ating pong estudyante ay ESC grantee. Napakalaki po ng magagawa. Siyempre, ikaw ay ESC grantee dahil patuloy nyo po yung magagamit hanggang grade 12 po ang inyong mga anak. Salamat po sa Diyos, sa bawat isa sa atin, sa lahat po ng umaten, ingatan nawa po ang bawat isa sa atin. Keep safe, manatili nawa po ang pag-iingat ng Diyos sa bawat isa sa atin. At siyempre, ingatan po natin ang ating mga sarili. Minom po tayo ng maraming tubig, kumain po ng masustansyang pagkain, kumain ng mga gulay at prutas. Huwag po tayong maglalabas hanggat maaari. Kung kaya naman po nating manatili sa bahay, mas magandang manatili po muna tayo sa ating mga bahay hanggang meron pong ganitong klase ng pagkakataon or meron tayong kinakaharap na pandemya. Ingatan nawa po ang bawat isa. Salamat po sa Diyos. Ito po si Sir Albert Soriano. Ito po ang inyo pong School and College Registrar. At the same time, kami po ang in charge sa scholarship program ng La Verdad at focal person po ng DepEd CHED at ng TESDA. Salamat po sa Diyos. Ingatan nawa po. It's already 9:20. Meron po tayong 10 minutes. Ano po ang Daisy, ano po ang next time na meron po ang klase nila? Yung pong aabutan nila na klase, Sir E.G. or Ma'am Daisy or kung sino pong advisor ang nandiyan, anong klase po, anong oras po? Check lang po natin yung schedule, ano. (9:30) ang next class. Let's have grade 7. So 9:30 ang next class. So 9:15. Okay. So dapat 9:15 to 9:30 nagbe-break but it's already 9:20. So atrasada tayo ng 5 minuto. So i-allow ko kayo na pumasok kahit 9:35. Okay? Kasi atrasada tayo ng 5 minuto. Ayoko naman sabihin nyo, sir, 10 minutes lang ang binigay mo 15 minutes ang break namin. Sige po. Pakisabi na lang po sa mga teachers sa 9:30 class na pinayagan po kayo po ni Sir Albert na pumasok kahit hanggang 9:35 dahil natapos po ang ating orientation at exactly 9:20. Salamat po sa Diyos. Ingatan nawa po ang bawat isa. God bless us all. Salamat po. Pwede na po mag-leave. Wait po, magpipicture po pala, picture. I forgot. Sir E.G., picture lang, saglit, mabilisan lang. Sige po. Show your best smile. Daw po walang camera, walang official ESC. Ay, naku, magpakita na kayo sa camera, proof po niyo yan. Salamat po sa Diyos. Ingatan nawa po tayo. Maganda ba, Ma'am Daisy? Sir AG, pakisabi naman sa amin kung tapos ka na. Habang tumatagal, naku, anong oras, ano na? Atrasado na tayo ng 10 minutes. Papayagan ko na yan ng 7:40 kahit 9:40 sila makapasok. Reggie, nag-picture ka ha? Sure ka ha? Easy, baka may camera ka, picture ka na din. Yan. Congratulations po sa bawat isa sa atin, sa mga magulang, sa mga estudyante, congratulations. No? Aside sa scholarship program ng La Verdad, kayo po ay ESC grantee na. Yan. Manatili lang po na maayos ang grades at ang ating pong behavior ay mananatili po ang ESC sa inyo hanggang mag-grade 12 po ang inyong estudyante. Salamat po sa Diyos. Ingatan nawa po. Salamat po sa Diyos. Maaari na po tayong mag-leave, mag-break po ang ating mga estudyante at makabalik po sa ating mga respective classes using our LMS or Learning Management System. Salamat po sa Diyos. Ingatan nawa po. Pwede na pong mag-leave.